Hello and welcome back, everybody. I am going to share with you some great things today that can really help you to amp up your spring wardrobe. One thing that I have found is that, well, prints can be very personal. And when you choose prints carefully and wisely and not just let the trends dictate what prints you wear, it can be magical and powerful and amazing. Now, if you see me on video, you see that I'm actually wearing a print jacket. I've got one of our new liquid leather jackets on in a great tie-dye print. And we're seeing a lot of tie-dyes this season. And I think the way that I'm wearing it today is it's a little unexpected because, it's liquid leather and not a place you would typically expect to find tie-dye. But it's a great example of how you can take a basic print that, you used to create in buckets in kindergarten and elevate it to bring it right up to trend and to really elevate your basics. Now, the reason I love prints so much is that they really do bring personality to your style. I talk with so many women, and it's interesting because a lot of women love prints. They wear prints a lot. And I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why you should think about prints if you don't normally wear prints. One, they help you to stand out. They really help you to put your own personal spin on your look. Two, they can help you to elevate your solids, your basics. I remember working with a client one time, picking out all these great solid pieces, what I call wardrobe building blocks. And she looked at something that I picked out and she said, "Oh, that's so boring." I said, "Is it boring or is it basic?" Because you can bring in prints, you can mix and match, you can bring in other things. And once she realized that, she's like, "Oh, I do have all these great plaid jackets or print jackets that could elevate this dress." She could see it from a different perspective. Not everything in your closet has to be print. So I want you to choose carefully, because I honestly have been in quite a few closets and I have seen women who have literally hundreds of print tops and hundreds of print pieces, jackets, pants. And when you have print everything, it can make it really difficult to mix and match if you don't have the right solids. Prints also can really give your look an edge. I talked with a client the other day who loved prints, but just in a really subtle way. Maybe it was a leopard print shoe or a leopard print belt or a floral jacket that really punctuated her look. You can use prints to become statement pieces and really to take a basic look and set it apart. So there are lots of great reasons why I love prints and why you should too. But what prints are hot? All right, I'm going to break it down for you. Now, I am sharing all of this information that is in my Spring Trends ebook. I'm going to show you guys. If you guys are on Zoom, you see my copy. It has been well worn. This is only part of it. But there is a link in the bio if you would like to grab your copy. It's just $10. I have had so many women reach out to me and tell me, "Oh my God, I love this. This really helped me understand what to wear, what to stay away from, and how to put it all together," because the trends can be super, super confusing. And if you have any questions about the trends, I broke it down in a podcast back in March, I believe, about how to really understand wearing the trends. So go back and listen to that one. And that's going to really give you all the tips that you need to wear prints with confidence. I think a lot of women can feel very overwhelmed with prints and just feel like, "Ooh, this print is wearing me." Here's what we're going to talk about before we go into what the prints are. Scale. Your scale matters. Well, you may never have heard about wearing prints that are in line with your personal scale, but it makes all the difference. And so I want you to think about your stature. It's your height, your weight, your hair, your facial features, how you show up. If you are taller, larger, bolder, bigger hair, you can wear bigger prints. If you wear tiny, tiny prints, they're going to get lost on you. They're going to make you look bigger, and it's just going to feel out of sync. But if you're more petite, you're more delicate, and you wear prints that are large, they will wear you. So make sure that your print, no matter what it is in line with your personal scale. That's going to make all the difference. And so if it's getting lost on you, it's a no-go. If it's too big for you, it's a no-go. Look for prints that are just right. You'll know it, you'll feel it. And so just ask yourself, does this feel right? All right, so let's talk about prints though. Prints can be very subtle or they can be very bold. What is on trend this season are really more bold prints. Does that mean you have to rush right out and wear bold prints? No, if that's not right for you. This is where you pick and choose. This is where you get to pick and choose. I talk about the trends as if they're a buffet, and you get to choose which ones you try and which ones you don't like. Think about I love Indian buffets. I really love the chana masala. I love the chicken tikka masala. I love the dosa. I love dosas. Oh my gosh, dosas are so amazing. And there are some things that I just don't really care for as much. So I'm gonna wear more of what I eat, more of what I love, and wear more of what I love. And I want you to do the same. And so when you're thinking about the trends, think about what makes you feel more like you. Now, if you haven't worn prints, then I invite you to go play dress up in your closet. But if you don't have any prints, then I invite you to find a place where you feel comfortable. Maybe you go to a boutique that you know somebody or someone can help you. If you're local, come into Style Finder. We will gladly guide you to some prints and help you find the ones that are right for you. Or if you have a department store close to you or whatever, just start online though, looking. Ooh, I really like that. I want to wear some florals, or I want to wear some tiger stripes. What really appeals to you? Start there and then bring it in slowly. Now, I always tell clients, if you're not used to wearing prints or you feel like you get overwhelmed easily, do it in chunks. Like a client that I talked to the other day, she wasn't a big print wearer in her clothes, but she loved the print accessories. And that can make a really, really elegant look when you have all solids and you just pop it subtly with a small print. I'm a print wearer. I love prints. I love tie-dye. Well, I don't wear tie-dye that much, but I love this jacket. I love leopard print. I love stripes. I love florals. I really love florals. Sometimes I mix and match, and prints can be really, really fun. So you can have a lot of fun with prints. So let's talk about what prints are hot this season. We're actually seeing, I have a list of like this many, and it's a lot. So don't think you have to wear all of them. Choose a couple and then choose a couple and then focus on that, or choose one and find your groove. Find your groove with the print. Find what prints work for you. Find what prints make you feel more like yourself, and see how they can help you to elevate your wardrobe. We're seeing everything from floral to psychedelic prints, swirling, bold, big, crazy, wild, mixed prints, mismatched prints. We're seeing a lot of interesting print trends, but a lot of the prints that we're seeing are truly classics. So just know there truly is something for everybody. All right, number one, big, bold florals. Okay, now back up to what I said a few minutes ago. If big, bold florals don't appeal to you, and you're maybe 5'1" and very delicate and petite, and you think, oh my gosh, those would wear me. You're right, they would wear you. Wear small florals. Just because big, bold floral prints are hot does not mean you have to wear them. So wear what works for you. 2, abstract prints. Think about paint, like an abstract painting. A lot of that juxtaposed onto clothing. And it can make for a really interesting dress, a skirt. It really is a statement piece. And so something like that, you may want to go for like one top with a simple pair of solid pants, solid shoes, keep everything else understated. If you're wearing a print that is more of a statement print, let it take center stage and then wear other items that support it. You don't want to create too much chaos. Sometimes if you have a really bold or a busy print, you're going to have a lot going on. So you want to keep everything else simple. The third trend we're seeing, red roses. Now, I know I just mentioned big, bold florals, but red roses specifically have been featured a lot. If you don't like red rose prints, don't wear them. Find a print that works for you. But we are seeing a lot of red rose prints. I actually just got some jeans, some pants from Style Finder Boutique that were, they're a rose print, but they're not red. They're actually shades of gray and white, and they're so pretty. And so I feel like, well, those are in style. Even though they're not red, they are floral, and I love those. Polka dots. Ladies, when are polka dots like not a thing? Polka dots are really hot this season though. And I love polka dots because, first of all, they're a classic. They're very simple to wear. Make sure though, with your polka dots, that you get polka dots that are in line with your scale. You can find everything from tiny, tiny, tiny little pin dots to the big, bold, modern polka dots. Polka dots are not limited to a certain size. And so make sure that the scale of the polka dot works for you. A pin dot is going to work on you. A pin dot is going to work for you if you're a little bit more petite, more delicate, or you can pair it. You can mix and match. Polka dots are great. If you're a print mixer like me, polka dots can be a great backdrop to something like a bold floral, if that's something you want to try. It's not right for everybody. However, sometimes, especially if it's a pin dot, polka dots can be a little bit more subtle, but you still get that mixed print feeling. Plaid. Plaid is a print, or it can be a print. Sometimes it's, it's woven. It's how everything's woven, but it's classified as a print. And plaid is very hot this season. Plaid is a classic. Plaid is never not something you can wear. However, we're seeing more of it. We've had a great plaid blazer in the boutique this season that has been super hot, the Clueless blazer. It's in a color that's not really my color, but it works well on our clients who have warmer coloring. And it's been really well received. I think that's a great print to wear if your style is a little bit more classic, if you're looking to bring a print into a more business office, something more formal, business formal, I should say. It's not business casual, something that's more business professional, like upscale casual. Prints or plaids can be great. Plaids you can also mix and match. Totally up to you. Totally up to your personal style, your interpretation. Stripes. Stripes are hot. Again, stripes are a classic. Stripes never go away, but we are seeing a lot of stripes in interesting patterns. Stripes that are kind of like UPC codes, stripes that are like zebra stripes or tiger stripes. We are, and I'm going to kind of digress just for a minute, but we are seeing a lot of black and white prints, black and white graphic prints. And I think stripes, the UPC stripes, zebra print stripes, those three translate very well to stripes. So yeah, that's a great way to wear stripes. You might say, hey, I don't like stripes. Ooh, I'm going to bust a myth right here, ladies. I'm going to bust a myth real quick. I have been asked recently, actually, I have been asked a lot over my career as a style coach over the past 14 years. And so many women think stripes make them look wide. Well, they can, but they can also be super slimming and super flattering. And I'm going to tell you really quickly a couple of ways to wear stripes so that they work for you, not against you. First of all, wide horizontal stripes, when worn where you're widest, will make you look larger. It just will. It will just amplify. Small horizontal stripes where you are largest will amplify. But if you wear your stripes, your horizontal stripes on say you're larger on your lower half, wear your stripes on top, it will visually create balance. Also, if you wear vertical stripes, those can be very elongating and very slimming and very flattering. Now, one thing that I personally love, in fact, I had a dress on the other day. Sadly, we had a funeral to go to the other day. Someone in our family passed, and it was, I just didn't want to wear solid black. I wanted to bring in a little white just to represent light. That just felt right to me. And I had this dress, and it has black and white stripes. And the stripes are they're in groupings in, like, say, a section. It's not a square or anything, but then they're turned different ways. So you've got some stripes going horizontal, you've got some stripes going vertical, you've got stripes coming in all different angles and directions. Stripes worn like that will not make you look bigger. But again, make sure they're in line with your scale. So there are a lot of different ways to wear stripes. You can actually, one thing that I've been wearing a lot lately, my new favorite jean jacket from Liverpool is the Speedy jacket, and it's solid white. It's got a raw edge at the bottom. It's a little bit cropped, but then it's got a racing stripe up the sleeve in black. I love that jacket. And so that's a way to wear stripes. Also, we're seeing some stripes up the sides of pants. And I always tell clients, when you see that, that will visually take off 5 pounds or more. So stripes can be worn in many different ways, as an accent or as a bold statement piece. Striped shoes, striped handbags. Be adventurous with your stripes. Tie-dye motifs, as I mentioned with my jacket, or tops, or handbags, or shoes, or athletic wear, or athleisure wear. We're seeing tie-dye motifs in a lot of uncommon ways, unexpected ways. And that's a great way to bring your look current, is to wear something that is, maybe it is a more common print. I mean, we've been doing tie-dye since what, the 70s? And I remember in kindergarten, all my little tie-dyed shirts and coming up with the creative ways to do the little rubber bands. Remember that? Just so much fun. And so today's tie-dye is not like that. Don't just go out in your backyard and think, okay, I'm just going to dye my shirts or my t-shirts. That's fine for the kids. But I think for we adults, what we're seeing with tie-dye is actually a little bit more ombre. We're seeing multicolors. We're seeing a lot of great things that you can't just recreate in your backyard. But it's a great way to put a modern spin on your basics. Gingham. Picnic, anyone? Actually, Camellia was in the boutique the other day and she had on a cute little gingham dress. Gingham is not for everybody. I have a lot of clients who love it, and I have a lot of clients who don't really care for it. But if you love it, great. It can be very classic. It can be very preppy. It can be worn in so many different ways. Dresses, sheath dresses, tunics, blouses, shirt dress. I think of like a gingham shirtwaist dress. I think way back when, in my big preppy phase, I think I had a gingham shirtwaist dress, and I think it was probably pink and white. And I thought it was the bomb.com. I don't really resonate with that right now. However, if it works for you, go for it. Chevron print, chevron chic. We're seeing a lot of great chevron prints. And that's, again, very classic. You know, it's a look you can wear in a lot of different ways. This is the year of the tiger. And so because of that, we're seeing a lot of both tiger stripes as well as tiger motifs, like prints with tiger faces. In fact, we've got some earrings in the boutique that have tiger faces on them, or tiger faces all over your blouse, or just tiger stripes on your shoes, or your handbag, or a dress. Actually, it looks really great in a dress. Geometric and op art prints. Color blocking is hot. And I think when color blocking is hot, we see a lot of what I like to call color blocked prints. Op art, very geometric, things that are put together in a geometric way in multiple colors on the garment. Color blocking can be done with solid garments, or it can be done within your garment. And so your print can actually be color blocked. Mixed prints. We're seeing a lot of mixed prints, but again, be careful when you mix your prints. That's a whole other ball game. But I'll talk about that briefly. But my best advice when you mix prints, first of all, ask yourself, do I resonate with this? Is this look for me? Because it is not for everybody. But if you're curious and you think, well, maybe I could do this, there are a lot of different ways to think about this. Now, but at the end of the day, it must feel like you. I don't want you to mix prints and think, well, I'm in style, I should wear this. There are no shoulds. There are no shoulds. You should never wear your shoulds. You should only wear what you love and that makes you feel more like yourself. And so think about this. I want you to start with a print that's subtle in color and it's in line with your personal scale. That's going to be key for everything. And then add in another print that's maybe a little bit more bold. So say you start with some basic pin dots in, black with white pin dots. And then you want to put in something that's a little bit more bold. Maybe you mix in a floral that ties into black, but maybe it brings in some purple and some teal and some green. And it's a little bit more bold, but it's not super bold. So try that. And then maybe you could bring in a third print if you want. Maybe you say, hey, I'm going to bring in a subtle stripe. That might be too much. Maybe 2 is all you need. You can do up to 3. I probably wouldn't do any more than that. 3 can kind of be pushing it, but mix and match in a way. What I like to do when I mix prints, it's interesting. And I'll just tell a quick story. I used to work with prints a lot as a designer. I had a brief period when my kids were little. I had this period, of course, I was a designer. That's my background. And I have this brief period where when my kids were little, I designed kids' clothes. Of course, I had a girl first. I had my daughter Ivy first. And I was like, shit, I have to make clothes for her. And I loved, loved, loved mixing prints and patterns to make kids' clothes. And I had the best time. And what I started with was color. Now, I know it's so different for kids as opposed to adults, but the principles are the same. And when you can start with color, I would look at a print and really see. I remember this one chartreuse print that I had. It was chartreuse background, and then I had like a white line drawing that was like a leaf design. And then I had this other print that was a white background, and it had a little bit of the chartreuse, and then it brought in a little bit of brown, and it was a daisy print, a little bit more busy. And those two played so beautifully together. And I just remember that so clearly. I had this beautiful skirt that I made, and I had different tiers, and the different tiers were all the different fabrics. And I just had the best time. But I would start with a more simple print. And then I would bring in something that maybe was a little bit more complex. And the scale wasn't always the same, but I wanted it to work. I made sure that the colors worked together. As long as the colors worked together, then they generally tied in. And it was for kids. So it was, not that scale didn't matter, but it was just if you're making a bib or a burp cloth or a skirt or something, it comes out in a whole different way. You use such a small amount of fabric that you don't always get to see the print. But it worked somehow. But also think about with your prints, accenting solids. As I mentioned in the past, as I mentioned before, print shoes, tiger stripe shoes, print shoes, tie-dyed shoes, tie-dyed handbags, tie-dyed jackets, gingham, wallet, accessories, necklace, earrings. There are so many different ways to bring in prints. I love print scarves. Print scarves with a solid top, you can wear that all day long. And that's a great way to subtly bring in your prints you could spend, $5 on a scarf or probably 5,000. But typically you can get great scarves for not a lot of money. We just got in this beautiful shipment of scarves that, they're all under $40. And so it's a very inexpensive way to change out the look of your solids without spending a lot of money. And then you can tie it in different ways. You can wear it in different ways. You can put on your scarf, and you can put on a print jacket if you want to, or a plaid jacket, and really elevate. But find what works for you. Now, one thing I want you to think about is lace is a hot trend this season. And I know it's not quote unquote a print, or it can be a print. You can find lace print things, but lace sometimes does what I call reeds as a print. And so by mixing lace with a floral, it's almost like mixing prints. And the same is true for a lot of things. If you have some sort of texture or some sort of pattern, it can read as a print, even though it's not quote unquote a print. But so think about that. If you've got something that has a texture that you're mixing with a print, does it work together? Does it create harmony, or is it working against each other? Something you definitely want to keep in mind. So make sure that you look at how that all works together. Now, all right, I'm going to run through my list real quick of the hot prints of the season. I know I went through a lot, but again, if you want this whole list and all this other information, then I encourage you, go grab the ebook, because for $10, it gives you all things, all the tips, all the trends, and great suggestions that it can actually save you money, because by seeing these and knowing how to wear these, they can save you so much money in your closet. And it doesn't take a lot to bring your look up on trend. But what it does take is just a little knowledge. And a lot of times you already have things in your closet that you can wear that are on trend, that when you put in the spotlight, they feel new. All right, so here's my list. Big, bold florals, abstract prints, red roses, polka dots, plaid, stripes, tie-dyed motifs, gingham, chevron, the year of the tiger, so tiger stripes and tiger prints, geometric and op art prints, color blocked prints, and mixed prints. So I would love to know what your favorite prints are. And if you have not joined me over in the Style by Mary Michelle Facebook group, actually it's Style by Mary Michelle podcast Facebook group, go join me over there and tell me what your favorite prints are, or what trends or what print you will be trying this spring. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you will be incorporating some prints into your look, and I will see you on the next episode. I love you, ladies. Have a beautiful day.